Greetings, Doomers. Today I want to talk about something of utmost importance to the career of our species: how not to do history. There's a narrative that asserts, when explaining the Islamic conquest of Iran Shah, that the Zoroastrian priesthood was oppressing the Sassanid Empire's population at large, and that's one of the major reasons why the eventual victory of Islam was just and necessary. For those who subscribe to such a flawed deduction, such a cactus pile of historical revisionism and mythology being presented as actual history, I just have to ask you one thing. Name at least two figures explicitly tied to the Zoroastrian priesthood, Mobeds, Magi, or whoever, who were responsible for the oppression of the Iranic population at any point in Sassanid history. In Sassanid history exclusively. Not Achaemenid history, not Parthian history, not Median history. One of the unique traits of the Sassanid state is the state religion's lack of interference in the polity's actual laws. Yes, the Sassanids were rigidly Zoroastrians, but there was vast theological disunity in the empire. Besides the Sassanid form of Zoroastrianism, you also had the Mazdakites, the Manichaeans, the Nestorian Christians, the Jews, and followers of the Dharma. The priesthood, with all of its privileges in the realm, couldn't dominate the polity full on. A society governed under Asha recognizes and accepts that there are various other paths that one can follow in order to attain enlightenment and happiness, and also to reach God. Abrahamic faiths, on the other hand, only recognize their faith as the correct one. One other thing. The Romans had been at war on and off with the Sassanids during the time of Shapur II. The Romans had already gone down the path of their Christianization, with Julian the Apostate being Rome's final pagan emperor, and he attacked our nation too. So, if our empire was destined to collapse and be defeated due to the oppression of the Zoroastrian priesthood, the rebuttal to this point is simple. Why didn't the masses, by and large, choose to convert to Christianity instead and welcome the Romans as liberators instead, and desert the Sassanid army to fight for them instead? The Armenians and Georgians eventually chose orthodoxy over Zoroastrianism and Islam, just like the Romans did. The Assyrians also chose orthodoxy over Zoroastrianism and Islam, just like the Romans did. The Kurds also eventually chose orthodoxy over Zoroastrianism. The Kurds, by and large, were Nestorian Christians pre-Islam. So why didn't the Persians just embrace Nestorian Christianity instead? Food for thought. Once again, if you can name at least two figures tied to the Zoroastrian priesthood that oppressed the population at large in the Sassanid era, then you have a credible narrative and argument. After you've gone through the arduous task of naming at least two figures tied to the Sassanid era Zoroastrian priesthood that oppressed the population at large, although I fail to see how one or even two people in an empire as huge as the Sassanid one could somehow be responsible for the oppression of the entire population of the empire, explain to us exactly in what ways were they oppressing the population and how exactly that course of action can be defined as oppression. If you're unable to do any of this or elaborate on any of this, it's because you know you're talking out of your ass and your information about the country is based entirely on fraudulent anecdotal evidence passing off as objective history. Your anecdotal historical knowledge can easily be curb-checked by those who know Iranic, especially Sassanid history, forwards and backwards. And this is where I end my dissertation. Thank you for watching.